Man, watching the Ravens right now is like riding a roller coaster that refuses to slow down. You celebrate a win 1 minute, and in the next breath you are sitting there thinking, how in the world did this offense make it look so hard to score? And look. The funny part is that the special teams and the defense have been out there carrying the load. Like they have something to prove every single snap. They come flying around with energy, setting the tone. And you can sense that pride in the way they talk after the game, but the offense knows exactly what is going on too. And you can hear it in Lamar Jackson's voice every time he steps in front of a microphone. He wants perfection every time he touches the field. And you can tell these slower starts have been eating at him from the moment the game kicked off. You could see it on Lamar's face, every stalled drive, every missed chance in the red zone, every time the ball crossed midfield and somehow ended with a punt. You could tell it was getting under his skin. He never says it with panic. He says it with that calm frustration of someone who knows the standard and refuses to lower it. The man expects things to click, and honestly, nobody can blame him because we have all seen what this offense looks like when everything flows the way it is supposed to. Right now, though, it just feels rare. It feels like every good moment gets followed by a drive where something goes sideways and the whole thing just falls flat. And sure, you start thinking about the injuries. It is impossible not to. Every player can say it is just an execution thing. And Lamar keeps insisting it has nothing to do with him being banged up. But you watch him long enough, and you notice the difference. He is moving, but he is not gliding like he usually does. Those quick cuts that normally leave defenders grabbing at air just are not there the same way. Sometimes he takes a hit and gets up a little slower than usual. He never complains about it. He never blames anything on that, but you can see it, and honestly, that is what makes all of this even more impressive. He is out there pushing through every single week because he knows he gives this team the best chance to win, even if he is not at 100%. And then you hear the rest of the offensive guys talking, and it all lines up. Derrick Henry stood there and basically said the only answer is to play better. Tyler Linderbaum mentioned the red zone problem again, and at this point it is not even a secret. They get the ball inside the 10, they move it to the 7. And suddenly it is like hitting a brick wall. You cannot live like that in this league. You cannot keep putting your defense back on the field over and over while you walk away with 3 points or nothing, and the players know it. They are not satisfied. They are not pretending the issues are small. And honestly, that is a refreshing thing to see. They are winning, sure, but they are not winning the way they know they should be. Even Linderbaum talked about wanting to start fast so the defense can breathe a little. Imagine that mentality. The offense wanting to make life easier for the defense instead of the other way around. But for the last couple weeks, that is not what has been happening at all. They come out slow, they sputter, and the defense ends up on the field dealing with possession after possession. Because the offense cannot finish drives. You respect the honesty from these guys, though. They are not hiding from the reality that these slow starts are going to cost them eventually. If they do not get things straightened out against certain opponents, you might be able to get away with it, but once you run into teams that thrive on capitalizing on mistakes, there is no room for that. And those red zone numbers tell the whole story, to trips ending in touchdowns out of 5 chances. For a team that has weapons, a quarterback with Lamar's skill set, and a run game that is supposed to punish defenses, that ratio is tough to swallow. The good part, if you want to call it that, is that the problems are extremely clear. Drops, blocking breakdowns, play calls that feel a little off at times, and moments where players are just not on the same page. None of it is a mystery. Everybody in that building knows exactly what is wrong, and they are not shying away from it. That alone gives some hope that these issues can be corrected before things get out of control. One of the strangest parts of this whole season is how reversed everything feels. Early on, the offense was carrying the team, putting up huge performances and forcing opponents to chase them. Back then, the defense was struggling to find its identity. Now suddenly the defense looks like a wall, flying around every possession with confidence, while the offense is stuck trying to remember who it used to be. Watching Lamar have to fight through these tough stretches, knowing how explosive he normally is, feels surreal. The run game averaging just under 3 yards per carry. Henry barely scraping out 3 yards a pop. And drives that start strong but end with Stout jogging onto the field way too often. And speaking of Stout, the guy has been incredible. But when your punter is getting that much action, that is not the stat line you want to celebrate. And then there is the offensive line. Man, This group cannot seem to get on the same rhythm at all. One guy has a solid day. The guy next to him struggles. Another game, it flips. Someone pass blocks well but cannot run block. Someone else opens lanes in the run game but cannot hold up long enough in protection. It is like trying to fit puzzle pieces that almost connect but do not quite lock into place. Lamar is taking hits from all sides, from veterans like Ed Oliver to rookies like Dallas Turner. And when you watch him walk off after some of those plays, you can feel the toll it is taking. These are not light taps. These are the kinds of hits that add up over a long season, and yet, through everything, Lamar is out there grinding. He had throws where you could tell his base was not right. A ball sailed out of bounds on a target where he normally drops it in. A throw to Adree Hopkins where the receiver made an incredible move, but the defender barely clipped him because the ball placement forced just the slightest adjustment. That might seem small, but in this league small details change games. It is clear Lamar is trying to fight through things that would sideline plenty of quarterbacks. But he refuses to lean on that as an excuse because that is not who he is. Now, diving deeper into Lamar Jackson's situation, it is impossible to ignore how much his leg injuries are shaping the way this offense operates. People keep asking if his ankle, hamstring, or knee are holding him back. And every time he steps in front of a mic, he insists that they are not. But watching him on the field tells a slightly different story. He is still Lamar in spirit, still looking to take over games, still scrambling when he can, but there is a subtle caution in the way he moves. Every plant of the foot, every cut, every step back to throw seems calculated. And that extra hesitation can be the difference between a big gain and a missed opportunity. He is not letting it stop him. But you can see the challenge, and you can see the determination to overcome it. The respect for what he is doing cannot be overstated. John Harbaugh has said multiple times that he has absolute confidence in Lamar. And it is obvious why. He is a competitor in every sense of the word. Even when plays are not going his way, even when the offense sputters, he continues to push forward, searching for that one opening, that one throw, that one run that will flip the momentum. And it is not just his physical ability. It is the leadership, the way he demands excellence from those around him. You can see it in the way Derrick Henry and Tyler Linderbaum talk about the offense. They echo Lamar's mentality, stressing the need for execution, the need to put points on the board, and the responsibility that comes with each snap. The Ravens' offensive line has been a major storyline this season, and this game was no exception. Watching the numbers from blocking grades, it is clear that cohesion is still a work in progress. Some players have solid performances, others falter, and the result is inconsistent protection for Lamar. When your quarterback is constantly seeing pressure, it limits his ability to execute at the level we know he is capable of. The line can open lanes for Henry one play and allow defenders in on the next. That inconsistency puts extra stress on the quarterback. And Lamar has been absorbing that pressure week after week, taking hits, making adjustments on the fly, and still managing to keep drives alive. That is no small feat. What makes it even more fascinating is the mentality inside that locker room. The offense knows they are underachieving, and they are not shying away from that fact. Tyler Linderbaum talked about the red zone. Derrick Henry talked about playing better. And Lamar himself is vocal about needing to execute. This is a team that does not want to just scrape by. They are aware of the high standards. They know the defense is playing at an elite level, and they want to match it drive for drive, touchdown for touchdown. There is pride in that. And it shows that they are not satisfied with mediocrity, even when they are still winning games. The run game is another piece of this puzzle, with Lamar limited at times in his mobility and Derrick Henry averaging just over 3 yards a carry. It is clear that the Ravens cannot rely on their rushing attack alone to carry the team. When the ground game struggles, it puts even more pressure on Lamar to create, to improvise, to force plays in ways that can sometimes leave him exposed, and yet, he continues to step up, using his vision and football IQ to navigate defenses that are keenly aware of his dual threat ability. The defense knows that if Lamar is contained, the offense becomes far less explosive, and they play accordingly, but Lamar has been finding ways to make it work, even when things are not perfect. Todd Monken's second-half adjustments have also been a big factor in this. The game plan at halftime seems straightforward, yet execution is what separates good teams from great teams. Monken's tweaks give Lamar and the rest of the offense opportunities to exploit weaknesses, but it all comes down to execution on the field. drops, miscommunications, and misreads can derail even the best plans. That is why the mindset Lamar brings is so important. He is aware that one bad snap, one missed assignment, or one slow start can set the tone for the rest of the game, and the way he keeps pushing the offense, trying to find rhythm and momentum, shows his understanding of the fine line between winning and losing in this league. The injuries do more than just affect Lamar physically, they impact how defenses play him. Opposing teams know he is not at full strength, and they adjust accordingly. Sometimes stacking the box, sometimes cutting off lanes to force him to make plays in tighter windows. That makes every successful drive, every positive play, feel that much harder earned, and yet, he remains a threat simply by being on the field, even at less than 100%. He changes the way defenses approach the game, forces attention, and creates opportunities for teammates. That intangible impact is sometimes overlooked in stats and highlights, but it is critical to the Ravens' overall success. And it is not just the offense feeling the pressure. The defense and special teams are playing at a level that demands the offense step up. They are flying around, making tackles, forcing turnovers, and showing that they can carry a game when needed, but a defense cannot score points. And special teams can only do so much. It all comes down to execution by the offense. And the Ravens know it. That accountability is being voiced openly, which is rare and refreshing. Players are acknowledging the issues, analyzing the breakdowns, and committing to improving. They are taking personal responsibility for missed opportunities and slow starts. And that collective ownership is what makes this team dangerous, even when things are not perfect. Watching this team now, you see a shift. Early in the season, the offense was explosive, carrying the team to big point totals and forcing opponents to adjust. Now, the defense has caught up, and the offense is working to regain consistency. The balance is there, but it requires every unit to execute. That is why Lamar's resilience stands out, despite injuries, inconsistent protection, and a run game that struggles at times. He is still leading drives, still improvising, and still giving the Ravens their best chance to win. His presence on the field is more valuable than any single stat line, because he embodies the team's competitive spirit, determination, and refusal to accept mediocrity. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. Fans are in shock after a surprising announcement from the NFL has sent the sports world into a whirlwind of speculation. Sources close to the league hint at developments that no one saw coming, and the buzz has been impossible to ignore. The rumor mill is currently fixated on a player from the Baltimore Ravens, whose recent suspension has sparked debates, whispers, and a frenzy across social media platforms. The announcement, shrouded in mystery, has left supporters of the Ravens in disbelief. Some are struggling to comprehend how one of their key figures could suddenly find themselves embroiled in controversy. In locker rooms and fan forums alike, the speculation is rampant. What exactly led to the league's decision? And how will this impact the team moving forward? Nobody seems to have a definitive answer, and that uncertainty has only fueled the excitement and the anxiety. Sports commentators are already weighing in, dissecting every angle. Was it a violation of league rules, an off-field incident, or something more intricate than meets the eye? Every new snippet of information sent out by insiders is dissected and shared widely, creating a near-constant stream of hot takes and opinions. Fans are torn between disbelief and indignation, some questioning the fairness of the suspension, while others argue that the league had little choice but to act swiftly. The Ravens organization has remained tight-lipped, offering no official statements beyond acknowledging the suspension, which has only intensified the mystery. Meanwhile, the NFL itself seems content to let the rumor linger, with no clarifications forthcoming, leaving journalists and analysts scrambling for any credible leads. In bars, sports radio segments, and online chat rooms, supporters are dissecting potential scenarios, from playoff implications to locker room morale. Everyone has a theory, but no one has the confirmed story. One thing is certain: the news has electrified the NFL landscape. Rumors, assumptions, and predictions are swirling as fans try to piece together what really happened behind the scenes. Whether this suspension marks a temporary setback or a turning point for the Ravens, the league has successfully captured the attention of the nation. And as the buzz grows louder with each passing hour, one question dominates every conversation: what happens next? That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.